What you gonna get two different things. Reserve on it.
Hi, welcome to Columbus Motor Speedway. I'm Nate Pennington. I'd like to thank you for buying this Pinstripe Productions at the Track videotape. And we got clouds and threatening weather. In fact, we ran in rain all the way up here. In fact, we had to make a turnaround. We left some equipment back at the home in Dayton and had to run back and ran through rain all the way back to Dayton the second time. So things are not looking real good. We're not going to waste much time. We're going to get racing here. So I'm going to turn things over to Jeff Knuckles and Bob Neubauer. Jeff will have the call and races, and of course Bob Neubauer with all the on-track Winner's Circle interviews. Once again, thank you for buying this Pinstripe Productions at the Track videotape, and please enjoy.
Columbus Motor Speedway t-shirts and sweatshirts.
I said
Car number 25, Jimmy Kidd, starts first in this four-lapper. Your fourth fastest qualifier, and outside of that front row in the 5-0 car, it's one Jeremy Dennis. Jeremy Dennis in 50. Row 2, the Pasta Mobile, car number 87, John Sadinsky, and your fast qualifier in car number 93, Jamie Hunt. Hunt pulling double duty tonight, running in the Limited Sportsman and the late model division. E-Race. I'm sorry, Trophy Dash. BBS Superstore, night at the races, Jimmy Kidd, Jeremy Dennis, John Sadinsky, Jamie Hunt, your 4-lap Trophy Dash, the first event. Kidd with the advantage down the backstretch. Sadinsky runs second. Jamie Hunt. Hello, how do you do to Sadinsky down there in turn 3? Now John is about a half car length ahead of Hunt. But Jamie not to be, and he's back again, once again, knocking on the door. With a bit of an advantage. Sadinsky slips by, Hunt looking for a way around, but nothing doing so far. Now Jamie Hunt underneath Sadinsky, cannot make the pass yet. He'll try again, and Hunt and Sadinsky contact in turn 3. Are out. Jeremy Dennis trying to track down Jimmy Kidd. Kidd now with a bit of an advantage. And he'll lead off turn 4. Jimmy Kidd, your winner. Jeremy Dennis, John Sadinsky, and Jamie Hunt. Alongside in 7-7. It's Tom Jones. Then comes Donald Martin, 10-22. 20, Mike Brown, 13. Ross Wells Jr., 36. Sean McNeely, 10 is John Strobel. In car 28, Ray Munson. Strobel moves past for the runner-up spot. Pulling Mike Brown along with him. Strobel now second. He'll set sail for Parsons. But he's only going to have a lap to catch up. White flag this time. Brown looking inside of Strobel, turn 2, cannot pull that pass off. And your winner will be Donald Parsons. Strobel, Brown, Wells, and Muncie round out the top 5. Once again, Donald Parsons, the winner. John Strobel. Mike Brown runs third. Fourth, Ross Wells Jr. Parsons car sponsored by Delp Car Auto Wrecking, Fast Racing, Magnus Masonry, CAS Rebuilders, and Precision Tune. I'm sorry, 66, Paul Baker Jr. And car number 5, Bob Grubal. For the 8-lap second Limited Sportsman Heat Race. George Lindsay showing away. Dan Gregory second, Mark Jordan runs third. Second to George, third to Fraybach. Gregory, Isaac round out the top 5. outside that front row. Rick Curtin. Remember in the 16th car tonight, Mike Schweier. And 41, Tom Colley. John Strobel pulls ahead. The battle back there for second through fifth. Top four make it into the feature. It also will decide how they start at the back of that field. Schweier now up to third. He'll go after Rick Hurt next. Strobel out front. Schweier moves past Rick Hurt. Spins off turn 4. Caution on the Speedway. Then we've got Rick Hurt, Tom, final 4 cars transfer into the sportsman feature. And in addition to that, the order in which they start at the back of the field. Now has it. Strobel out front. Mike Schweier second, Tom Colley and Rick Hurt, your final transfer car. A sponsor as well. Four laps around the third mile. Dave Noble. Strobel right quarters. Down into turn number 1. He takes command. Now Dean up to second. Looks inside down the straightaway. Still showing away. Robbie Dean second, Buddy Schrock in Zero Hill. Halfway. White flag, 1 to go for John Strobel. The London, Ohio driver holding the advantage over the veteran Dean. Dean slips on turn 2, allows Strobel to get away just a bit. Now back into turn 3, but your winner, John Strobel. Riley early dash. So Strobel makes his first appearance in the late model division. A good one by picking up that victory. Again, Dean was second. Strock and Hill, 21. And Carter 33, Dean Fusco. Then the second row, 59 Burgess White and 2 Chris Moore. Then we've got 61 Don Gregory Jr., 97 John Bruce, car number 8 Jim Hersey, and 86 Skip Thornton. Your front row. 10 laps. The first late model heat race. Danarelli making his first appearance this season. He'll lead lap number 1. Burgess White slips past Fusco. He takes over second. Fusco not giving up yet. Chris Moore currently in 4th position. Danarelli checking out in car 21. Danarelli showing the way. Chris Moore closing on Fusco. So far unable to make that pass. Through turn 3 and 4, your winner. His first appearance and win the season. Vic Danarelli. So again, the first late model heat race, the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series complete. Danarelli, a strong showing for his first time out. Starts first in the car number 10 Sterling Coach Restoration Camaro, alongside in car 31 the Camaro driven by Buddy Townsend. Row number 2 we find Gary Carter in car 3 and 6. Alongside of him is Jerry Mitchell. Jamie Hunt's in car 65, 26. That is one Bill Cantley. Then comes 7, Dick Dunleavy Jr. The Invader from Michigan starts next. That's car 90, Tim Curry. And out back in car 81, Don Wettenall. Ready to roll. 10 laps. Bando and Townsend, the battle at the front. Buddy with a bit of an advantage. Now Bando back in turn number 3. They're side by side. Complete lap 1. second will be close. Give it to Townsend. Third to Davis. And Scott Barney finishes fourth. Starts first, in car 13, then we've got Larry Cauty. Second row, Dave Dyson, Randy Wilson, Bruce Holmes, and Bill Gussler Jr. in the third row, rather. Then Jim New and Bob Jewell. Robert Jewell at 85. They've got 8 laps. The distance for the first street stock heat race. And a picture-perfect start it was. Jeff Albion controls the field down the back. Now we got a 3D back there. Yeah, coming through. Look out. Jeff Albion will lead lap number 1. Dysinger second. Bruce Holmes third. Track down Dysinger. Bill Gussler runs second, or Gussler is closing on Dysinger. They'll get the white flag the next time. Fast start finish. Now Bruce Holmes third. Jeff Albion runs fourth. Randy Wilson fifth. 1 lap to go. Gussler is second, Holmes third, Albion and Randy Wilson, your top 5. Dave Dysinger with what I believe it is, and it is his first race win of the 2000 season. All City Auto Wrecking and John's Auto Service, proud sponsors on that. Starting up front. Then second row. Don Hill Sr., and Ron McManus. In row 3, the 46 car, that is Carl Katz, and 22, Bubba Parsons. And completing the field, 07, John Morgan.
Kevin Moore
laps down, it's still John Beverly, Rich Stepp, Kevin Moore, and Rick Lamer. Those are your transfer cars at this week. Starts first in car 36 in this 35 lap event. Alongside in car number 10, that is John Strobel. George Lindsay and Dan Gregory line up in the second row. And then row number 3, car 61, Don Gregory Jr. and 19, Mark Fraybot. Donnie Miller's next in car 21. Then we've got car 4, Greg Isaac. Paul Baker Jr. is the next driver in 66, and alongside Bob Grubal in 5. Then comes 25, that's Jimmy Kidd. 50, Jeremy Dennis. Car 87, John Sadinsky. And car 93, your fast qualifier, Jamie Hunt. By the way, Jeremy Dennis is the 3M challenger. If he can improve his position more than any other driver in this event, and more than any other driver in this event, he'll collect that bonus money, $700. Of course, that's unless the street stock driver, challenger, improves more positions than Jeremy. Mike Brown's next in car, no, he's not. Let's see, Tom Jones, Ross Wells Jr. Then we've got Donald Parsons, and Rob Knox. Sean Strobel, Mike Schweier in 16. 41, Tom Colley. 14, Rick Curtin. Sean McNeely, John Strobel, that front row, the BPS Superstore pace truck off the track. John Strobel jumps out to the early lead. Now we got trouble already in turn 2. Caution is on the Speedway. Bob, go ahead, buddy.
Well, Jeff, the driver's A-OK. Unfortunately, a little bit of a problem up with the 73 car. They're going to get towed in. Front end as he gets back towards the pit area. Well, maybe. He's just going to pull up and get it inspected and get it looked at. 14 and Rick Curtin are just going to push him. I think he'll be able to restart, but the Muncie ride, it's out as he's got some broken damage, and discussing with Jamie Hunt actually what happened here. Other than that, just a little bit of bumping and bruising going on, and we should be able to get back underway here, Jeff, in just a few minutes.
Well, Bob, you'll have days like that. Again, Sean McNeely, John Strobel, your front row. They begin to pick up the pace on the backstretch. The green flag will wave. And we're underway once again. Again, it's John Strobel taking off. Holding the early lead, Sean McNeely runs second, but Dan Gregory looking to the outside of that 36 car. McNeely is second. Dan Gregory third. Now George Lindsay fourth. Three laps now complete. 3 down. Closing back in on your leader. Strobel, McNeely, Gregory, Lindsay, and Jordan, the top 5. Nose to tail through turns 3 and 4. McNeely putting the pressure on. close on the lead trio. Caution on the Speedway. Ray Muncie stops on the front stretch. That car not says no moss. 23 or 22 laps, something like that remains. John Strobel.
Hey, he pulls up here to victory lane. They're going to get the helmet off here and stuff. And John, we know this night's not over for you yet.
I got another one to go yet. We're having a good time. This team deserves this band. So hats off to the whole Hyder bunch back here, Raider Industries, our company, launching the car. Yeah, what else can I say? This is fun.
Guys, look, we were talking earlier that the track was a little bit loose, but seemed like the car was going where you wanted it to.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I mean, really, it's the racetrack. I think you guys are going to see an excellent late model show.
Hey, I'll meet you here in about 20 minutes.
I hope.
Ladies and gentlemen, your feature runner. How about a big round of applause, John Strobel.
Well, you weren't supposed to hear my voice again on this videotape, but as they say, the best laid plans sometimes go awry. We're having problems with our audio feed coming from the tower, so can't have Jeff Knuckles announce. So I'm going to take care of the Super Late Model 75 Lap Memorial Day Championship. Inside row number 1 is the number 6, that is Jerry Mitchell. Outside of him, car number 65 tonight is Jamie Hunt. Row number 2, 26, Bill Cantley. Outside of him, the 81 of Don Wetnall. And in row number 3, the 23 tonight, John Strobel taking over the reins of that vehicle. And outside of him, the 35 of Buddy Schrock. Row number 4, inside, the 77 of Robbie Dean and the 0 of Don Hill Jr. Row number 5 is car number 3, Gary Carter, and the 7 of Dick Dunleavy Jr. Row number 6, car number 31, Buddy Townsend, and the 0, or the 10 of Dominic Bando, excuse me. Row number 7, the 90, all the way coming down from Michigan to race with us tonight. The 90, as I said before, of Tim Curry. Car number 61 tonight, Don Gregory Jr. driving that vehicle. Row number 8, car number 2, Chris Moore, and the 86 of Skip Thornton. In row number 9, car number 59, Burgess White, and the 33 of Dean Fusco. And in row number 10, car number 5, Danny Eves, and the 21 of Vic Tannerelli. And out back in row number 11, car number 97, John Bruce, and the 8 of Jim Hersey. A couple of things to keep in mind. We have a hard chargers challenge for the driver who improves his positions most in the feature. And also we have a $10,000 bonus going to a 3-lap championship race. If a driver can win this race, the 4th of July championship, and the Labor Day championship, that will bring home an extra $10,000. John Strobel, the 23, and it looks like the 10 of Dominic Bando involved. I'm not sure if he made contact or not. And then I think it's 59 of Burgess White. Jim Hersey coming up there to stop. And Dean Fusco with a spin to try to avoid this incident. And we have caution. The Columbus Motor Speedway track crew pulling out some of the bent sheet metal. I believe that's on the John Strobel number 23 machine. You see the 86 of Skip Thornton pulled up there, as is the 10 of Dominic Bando. All right, no laps completed. Complete 2-wide restart. Jerry Mitchell and Jamie Hunt will bring down once again Bill Cantley and Don Wetnall. And that time we have a false start. our fingers crossed. Watch for that last car to cross the start-finish line, and I believe we got an efficient lap in. Jerry Mitchell, your leader. Jamie Hunt in the 65 machine. He's running second. Hunt, of course, taking over the driving duties from Tim Ice. Ice running in the West-Talati's main event late model series and running somewhere else in the state tonight. So Jamie Hunt taking over the controls of the 65 machine. Third belongs to the Zero of Donnie Zero Hill. You see Buddy Schrock and Dick Dunleavy battling side by side. Schrock on the inside in the 35 machine. Dunleavy on the outside in the 7 car. And we got trouble over in turn 3, I believe it is. Dominic Mando, the hood up on that car. Has to be a result of the earlier incident as the hood came up and he's totally blind, could not see. Nothing he could do but stop over there in turn 4 and wait for the caution flag to come out. 4 laps now complete. Jerry Mitchell, your leader. Jamie Hunt running second. Then it's Donnie Zero Hill in third. Bill Kentley holding on to that 4th position. And rounding out your top 5, the 81 of Don Wetnall. With the 11 laps now complete, your top 5 looks like this. Jerry Mitchell, your leader. Jamie Hunt running second. Donnie Zero Hill in third. Fourth is the 26 of Bill Kentley. And rounding out your top 5, the 35 of Buddy Schrock. Bill Cantley machine. And now give the fourth position to the 35 of Buddy Schrock. As your leaders encounter lap traffic going around the 97 of John Bruce. Buddy Schrock now runs fourth. Let's see if he can chase down the top three cars as Robbie Dean moves to the high side of Bill Cantley, battling for that fifth position. Buddy Schrock machine, and then Robbie Dean running in that fifth position. Cantley back to sixth. Jamie Hunt closing right on the back bumper of Bill Cantley in turns 3 and 4. That is the 3 of Gary Carter. Caution back out. Now with 22 of the 75 laps completed, it is Jerry Mitchell, your leader. Jamie Hunt, the 65 machine in second. Donnie Zero Hill third. Buddy Schrock moves up to the fourth position, and rounding out your top 5, the 77 of Robbie Dean. Look at your top 6 cars. Jerry Mitchell, Jamie Hunt, Donnie Zero Hill, Buddy Schrock, Robbie Dean, and Bill Cantley. If we go back to green racing, and Donnie Zero Hill immediately looks to the inside of Jamie Hunt, moves him up into that higher lane and takes over that second position. The Zero machine now runs second. Robbie Dean looking to the inside of Buddy Schrock coming out of turn 4. Can't quite get the job done as Schrock slams the door. Battle for fourth. And we got one stopped over in turn 1. A 3 car once again of Gary Carter. Problems with that machine. He seems to be... That car is completely shut off. I just saw him stick his hand out the window and motion that he needs a push. So, Gary Carter. Tough break for the 3 car. Well, we were able to get one more lap in. 23 laps now complete, and it's Jerry Mitchell. Donnie Zero Hill now runs second. 65 of Jamie Hunt third. 35 of Buddy Schrock fourth. And rounding out your top 5, the 77 of Robbie Dean as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. And Donnie Zero Hill tries to get underneath, but Jerry Mitchell slams the door in turn 1. And Zero Hill has to be content with that second spot right now. Car number 6, Jerry Mitchell. We are now a third of the way through this one. 25 laps now complete. Jerry Mitchell still your leader, as has been from the get-go. As the 90 of Tim Curry battles with the 2 of Chris Moore. Curry coming all the way down from Michigan. A regular main event series late model runner, trying his luck tonight here at Columbus Motor Speedway for the Memorial Day Championship, as Donnie Zero-Hill continues to work on the 6 of Jerry Mitchell. Battle for the 4th position. As Dick Dunleavy, Chris Moore, and Tim Curry battle a little bit farther back behind those guys. Donnie Zero-Hill looks to the inside, coming out of turn 4, can't get the job done. Zero-Hill running second, third belongs to the 65 of Jamie Hunt, and then Buddy Schrock and Robbie Dean rounding out your top 5 so far. Of Danny Eves up in flames down the front straightaway, and something on that car just lets go in a big way. That car fully involved in flames for a moment there. You saw him as the camera got right to it. Danny Eves, car number 5, and the Paul Store owned car number 5 with a problem. The hood off, track crew taking a look at it, seeing if they can figure out what it was that let go. Obviously, we're going to have a cleanup procedure here on the front stretch, as we got some sort of fluid all the way up and down the front stretch. We're going to pause the tapes, and we'll be back with the racing in a moment. And word has it, it was the transmission that let go on the Danny Eves machine, as we see the track crewman picking up the little pieces parts that are all the way down the front straightaway. It's kind of a sad sight to see when parts that were part of a race car are now little pieces parts that a track crewman has to pick up and throw into a box. Once again, tough break for Danny Eves. And now with 35 of the 75 laps now complete, Jerry Mitchell still your leader. Donnie Zero-Hill running second, 65 Jamie Hunt in the 3rd position, 35 Buddy Schrock, and then the 77 of Robbie Dean rounds out your top 5. racing on the Jamie Hunt machine in the 35 car. And now Schrock right on the back bumper of the 65 with Jamie Hunt, as Donnie Zero Hill continues to work on your leader, Jerry Mitchell. Looking to the high side of Jamie Hunt, as Zero Hill at the same time looks to the high side of Jerry Mitchell. So we got a battle for first and third going on, as Chris Moore has now gotten around the Bill Cantley machine. Moore runs in that sixth position. Now Zero Hill drops back to the low lane once again into second, as Buddy Schrock continues to work on the 65 of Jamie Hunt. Buddy Schrock now advantage over Jamie Hunt. He runs third, but Hunt battles back down into turns 1 and 2. And now Buddy Schrock takes over the third position and wastes no time, stays in the high lane and begins to work on the second place car of Donnie Zero Hill. Mitchell moves up to the high lane, or at least into the middle of the track, trying to block and protect his lead, as Buddy Schrock now in the high lane, side by side with Donnie Zero Hill for second. Jerry Mitchell still your leader. Zero Hill looking underneath, but Buddy Schrock on the high side. And now battle for the lead, the 35 of Buddy Schrock, the 6 of Jerry Mitchell. Schrock's got the slight advantage going down the back straightaway. And your leader, car number 35, Buddy Schrock. Jerry Mitchell now back to second. Bobby Dean works on the 65 of Jamie Hunt, battle for fourth position now. Zero Hill machine. Not sure if there was contact between him and Robbie Dean or not. My eyes were focused on the 35 of Buddy Schrock, so I'm not sure. Robbie Dean now runs third. Jerry Mitchell in your second position, and of course the 35 Buddy Schrock your leader. Goes to work on Chris Moore, as Robbie Dean looks to the inside of Jerry Mitchell, battle for second. side by side with Jerry Mitchell for the second position. And now Dean takes over second. Robbie Dean in the 77 car runs second. Buddy Schrock still your leader. Third now belongs to Jerry Mitchell with Jamie Hunt in fourth. Battle for fifth between Donnie Zero Hill and the two of Chris Moore. Side of Jamie Hunt. Battle for the fourth position as Buddy Schrock continues with his lead of this event as the laps continue to tick away. There's Robbie Dean running in second in the 77 machine. As Buddy Schrock puts a lap on the 59 of Burgess White. Spinning down the front stretch, the 86 is Skip Thornton, and I believe that's the 21 of Vic Tannerelli. So the caution will come out with just 4 laps to go. Buddy Schrock, your leader. Robbie Dean was closing in the second position in the 77 car. Third belongs to Chris Moore in the 2, with fourth, Donnie Hills Jr. And rounding out your top 5 will be the 6 of Jerry Mitchell. And not all the cars had completed that lap, so we revert back to the previous lap. So actually there will be 70 laps completed, 5 laps to go for your leader, car number 35, Buddy Schrock. All right, before the caution came out, Robbie Dean was closing on Buddy Schrock. We'll see what he can do. The 59 of Burgess White is a lap car. Your third place car is the 2, Chris Moore. We see the Burgess White move down into the inside lane so the leaders can go around, and he will not impair this race as the green flag comes back out. Buddy Schrock as Dean closes in the 77 machine. White flag, 1 lap to go for car number 35, Buddy Schrock. Robbie Dean now runs second and still right on his back bumper. Your winner will be car number 35, Buddy Schrock. Second will go to Robbie Dean. Third to Chris Moore. Fourth I believe was Jerry Mitchell. It was close, with Donnie Zero Hill coming home 5th. So once again, your winner of the Memorial Day Championship will be the car number 35 of Buddy Schrock. Now Schrock is the only driver eligible to go for the $10,000 bonus. If he wins the 4th of July Championship and Labor Day Championships, he will get a $10,000 bonus in addition to the prize money that he will already win for winning those races. So, all right, now we're going to go down the track side with Bob Neubauer. We're going to try to listen in over the roar of the motors of the street stock feature that's coming up to try to hear the winner's circle interview. Once again, I apologize for the audio problems. We thought we had them fixed. Audio was sounding pretty good at the beginning of the night, and then all of a sudden we just lost it. So here we go to Bob Neubauer.
Well, Buddy trying to wipe the space off real quick here and get the perspiration off. It might be a cool night out here, but it's not inside the car. Ladies and gentlemen, he climbs out here, 75 lap feature winner, Buddy Schrock. Hey, you're sweating like there was a little bit of work going on. Everywhere I turn, there's the yellow number 77 behind me. It's been that way all year. He's got that Ford motor and that thing. I got my little spec motor here. You got me real careful. Robbie drives the wheels off that thing. I just want to thank my whole crew out of value. Fuel code, we've been horsing around with the new car all year. We finally got the old car out, and then we can go back. Hey, one down and 2 to go, and be $10,000 richer. Well, I can enjoy that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, how about a big round of applause?
I don't know if you could fully understand that or not. Buddy Schrock racing the older car tonight. They had the new car out, not going fast enough. Bring out the older car, and they win the feature. And now it's time for the 30-lap Street Stock Labor Day Championship. They're going to line up this way. Inside row number 1, the 41 is Jim New. Outside him, the 85 of Robert Jewell. Row number 2 is 75 James Harding and the 98 of Dave McConaughey. Row number 3, 70 Don Heavy Hill and the number 53 of Ron McManus. Row number 4 is car number 46 Carl Katz and the 95 of Mike Litchfield. Row number 5, car number 07, John Morgan, and the 22 of Bubba Parsons. Row number 6, 61 is Chris Meyer, and outside of him, the 77 of Don Townsend Jr. Row number 7, car number 18, Bo Davis, and the 84 of Scott Varney. Row number 8, car number 4, Phil Gessler, and the 88 of Bruce Holmes. Row number 9, 50, Randy Wilson, and the 27 of Dave Dysinger. Row number 10, 23, Larry Caudy, and the 13 of Jeff Albion. Row number 11, car number 39, John Beverly, and the 51 of Rich Neff. And in row number 12, car number 34, Rick Lamer, and outside of him, the 20 of Kevin Moore.
Outside of him, Robert Jewell. Then we got...
Truck pulls off the track, and we should get a green flag next time by the stripe. Spinning into the infield, that's Jeff Albion in the 13th machine. He's out of harm's way, and we stay green. Car number 41, that's Jim New. 70 of Heavy Hill. off the track. That's 34, Rick Glaber. He's off the going once again. And continues motoring around the racetrack. A little bit of a blocker for the 07 of John Morgan there. Your leader still the 77 of Don Townsend Jr. Backstretch for all, Phil Gussler in the 4 car, also the 50 of Randy Wilson involved. That's going to bring out a red flag. With 25 of the 30 laps now complete, your leader is the 77 of Don Townsend Jr. running second, 18 Bo Davis. Third belongs to the 70 of Don Heavy Hill Sr. And fourth belongs to the 84 of Scott Marty, and rounding out your top 5 will be the 61 of Chris Meyer. And we should have the lineup back here in just a moment. And as you see, we reverted it back to the previous green flag lap, so now there's actually 24 laps complete, so we will have 6 laps to go when the green flag comes out. Don Townsend Jr. Going on second will be the 18 of Bo Davis. Third will go to Don Heavy Hill. Fourth, the 84 of Scott Barney. Once again, your winner, car number 77, Don Townsend Jr. In a moment, we're going to have the winner's circle interview. We'll, like before, we'll try to eavesdrop in, and hopefully by next week we'll have the audio taken care of and have the regular audio feed back. I'd like to thank you for buying this Ben Stroh Productions At the Track videotape. Please keep in mind that not only do we videotape here at Columbus Motor Speedway, but at Killcare Speedway following the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series. For my wife Kim, my partner Bill Yo, I'm Nate Pennington. We'll see you next week at the track.
be there. Unfortunately, it wasn't even close. You were able to walk away from the crowd the night time.
That's fast racing engine in this car, and my mechanic, Troy Hayes, my dad, we really snuck the sprint car motor this week.
There you go. That was the secret. Ladies and gentlemen.